the pain continues. Hello everybody and welcome back to the second episode of Mega Campaign 2021. In our first little episode in Crusader Kings 3, we played as the Shang Zhao and created our small little dynasty of a small Chinese faction and made a pretty interesting empire. Also made one hell of a disgusting first king. It's alright, Shang. You did all you had to do, and now we've finally got something worthwhile. And I'm sure you're all very interested to see exactly what came out of the conversion, and for once, I didn't actually have to change that much. In fact, if you just look at Russia and just all of Central Asia, I blame the Mongolians and their failure to make an empire. But yes, this is the Mega Campaign where we go from CK3 all the way to Hearts of Iron 4 through Victoria 2 and EU 4, which is all on the same save if you couldn't have guessed. Yeah, Europe's looking pretty interesting. We already have a unified Italy and a pretty big and powerful France. And I really don't know what to say about the UK and the British Isles because, well, Wales and also Andalusia. It's going to be an interesting Europe, that's for darn sure. Once again, I'll be leaving the converters down below. If you guys want to do your own Mega Campaign, feel free to do so. If you've never really played one of the Paradox games that are in this series, it might be a nice time to go ahead and try it, or maybe not, you might just explode your empire you've worked so hard on in Victoria 2. But yes, the moment of truth. How exactly is Shang Zhao looking? Well, Shang Zhao's looking split in half? That's right, since there was over 100 years between CK3 where we left off and EU4, things have got a little interesting. Because our great empire has split between what was the Northern Realm where we originally started and now our new southern Indian lands. In fact, there was an entire split between our dynasty, between the Han Bolos and now just the original Han. Obviously, as a Chinese faction, we do have a little option over here to take the mandate of heaven, as we are still Chinese culture, and that Chinese culture has actually spread now into India. And obviously our great religion of Shangist, which is mostly just a pretty religious way to say we're a warmongering horde. But we'll have to see if we'll ever reunite the two kingdoms into one, or just simply have our expectations stuck in India and maybe say goodbye to China once and for all. But for now, let's get into it, eh? So, one of the big problems we are going to have is that a lot of this land still does not believe in our religion, and also is not the correct culture. Also, the empire is not feeling too profitable these days. And also, apparently, we've forgotten what India looks like, even though we still own a part over here that I didn't even realize. Oh, I gotta say that the Shangist religion, with that aggressive expansion impact, is actually pretty good, and also kind of makes sense considering I put every single warmongering thing on it. The only bad thing is the local missionary strength -2. That is going to be a problem. We may actually have to go religious ideas, which I wasn't planning on doing. Yep, gonna be a little bit of unrest, I imagine, for our first few years in EU4 today. When will you people learn that Shang was a great man? He just had weird lips. Looks like we've already been declared war on, which I wasn't expecting, but I guess we're gonna have to fight. You may be asking, was it worth it? No, it wasn't. Ihar also declared war on me, and I did get a couple provinces off them, which I was planning to do anyway. These guys weren't that difficult, but these guys, oh, they kept spamming out units. I love EU4, man. I sure can't get enough of this game. Shang Empire is just not feeling too good, despite how good it looks. So not making much money, everybody in my land hates me, and all of my neighbors hate me more. On top of that, anyone declares war on me right now, I am kablamo screwed. I no longer have any manpower. Now, what we need to focus on right now is making some friends, because surviving is going to be a tough cookie at the moment. Seems our northern brother up here, actually, the people want to come back to my empire, which is kind of sad, really, because it sucks down here. I'm thinking, oh, the development and trade in India is pretty crazy. How can you not make much money? And that's because in the CK3 converter, you actually have the option to translate what the development was in CK3 in the provinces, so it makes a bit more sense. And obviously, yeah, it's not looking too good. I mean, overall the land's not bad, but it's definitely not base EU4 good. I have been deving up our capital just a little bit, just to try and help with the excess points I have, but it's not helping. I think Big Papa Ming might finally be done with our shit, apparently, because they're digging out the Qinghai. And that is another reason that I did split the empire in two, is that I don't think it would have been that interesting if I just immediately died to the Ming, which has, say, a bit more development than me. Oh god. Okay. Decent. Don't care. Good. Okay, this kind of sucks. It's going to be risky, as you know. Picking the first idea is always hard, but you know what? I think we're going to have to do it. Espionage ideas it is. I'm just kidding. I don't hate myself that much. I'm stuck between innovation and economic. I think we're going to do economic, but I also really want innovative. What do I do? We're going to get economic. Okay, I'm no like EU4 meta guy, but I think this will help us in the long run. We shall see. We've got ourselves a new monarch. The Empress has passed, but Geiko, who is her son, I assume, is actually... oh, he's just because his mother. You know what I mean? I really want to go ahead and just keep us on extra friendly terms, so please do not come over here and just destroy me. I think for our first son, we're going to have to go ahead and name them after the great man himself. Please do not let us down. Hopefully while we recovered from that first war, looks like everyone in India is fighting each other, so whilst that is good for us at the moment, they are also getting more powerful and will be a problem for us later on. Oh my gosh, those gold dang separatists. Whilst the court in Shangzhou in India has no interest in heading back north, I think it will be pretty good for us to have a small vassal over there, considering the Qinghai doesn't seem that stable. Whilst it might have been our ancestral homeland, it did kind of suck balls. And whilst I did manage to get myself an alliance with our homeland, the Chinese Ming, I don't know how long that'll last, and again, I don't want to be too close to them. Yep, they just broke their alliance with me, and now they hate me. Whilst we're in somewhat of a stable position, I say stable, we're going to have constant revolts for a pretty long time because of just how intolerant I made the Shang faith. It's not too happy of heathen. I think it's finally time we link up our western lands with our eastern lands. And thank God my allies actually want to help me. Also, we went ahead and brought along some of our famous Chinese gunpowder. Here we go. Not a lot of expansion, but just enough for us to reach our western lands, which means the endless revolts will be a little bit easier to deal with. Oh, I have finally discovered the world. Let's have a little gander. Well, oh, Jerusalem died. Egypt is looking pretty good. For a second I thought the Byzantines were holding on quite well over here, but that's Armenia. Armenia big. Oh, it's not getting any better up here, is it? I don't think we're gonna have a Russia in this game, but we will have a massive Estonia. And Europe is... Italy? Oh wow, we are gonna have a powerful France and Italy, that is for damn sure. And Danish, Western Europe, and is that France? France is up here too? Okay, I'm scared of you, France. Spain is still trying to figure out who will be called Spain. Andalusia, still the biggest party here, and they still own their stuff up here, but unfortunately Wales has been anglified. Yeah, the world is looking pretty interesting, that's for damn sure. The mess in Central Europe though, that ain't getting fixed anytime soon. The Qinghai have unfortunately passed into the other dimension, and their land just keeps flipping to the Sang now, who are my puppets, so I'm not complaining. Still worried about Big Brother Ming though, and we haven't done any expanding really. We're just sitting here, haven't had a few revolts in a while, which is pretty good, and we're just getting powerful. You know, I think it might be time for the great push south. Things have been too stable in Shangzhou for a while that I'm getting uncomfortable. Yes, that's much better. I feel way more comfortable with all of these revolts about to pop up. Well, the emperor died mid-war, which isn't great, and we do have Shang now, although he is currently under regency. This isn't the original Shang, by the way. Original Shang died. Did get lucky and get another one though, and that's pretty impressive considering our last ruler was like 70 years old. Let's try not to explode, shall we, after that? Doing a bit more invading down here. What I find quite hilarious is the fact that this whole state down here is actually converted to Shangism, which it's kind of weird any other state believing in this, but sure, why not? Things are actually getting cleaned up in Europe right about now, and the Reformation is kicking off, and it hasn't really taken much hold just yet, but maybe it'll still kick up a little bit. Also, somehow Aragon just won the Iberian Battle Royale, but now they're getting taken out by France. Okay, can't have anything in Iberia. Does feel a little bit wrong to destroy someone with the same religion as me, but also at the same time, you're following a religion about a man who had funny lips. That just says more about you than it does me, buddy, because at least I'm related to him. I'm wondering where the enemy was, and well, they're all up here. I guess we're having a siege off, eh? Oh, well, there goes the neighborhood, eh, Byzantines? You know, just because I always forget to do it, golden era. Why not? We're gonna pop it, because we're looking alright, I suppose. I mean, alright for us is just not constantly revolting, which is, has been a problem in the past, I've got to say, for the Shangzhou nation. Oh god, I realized I had enough influence to puppet these small little nations up here, and I just looked over and we've got some Shangist zealots that just siege these guys down, and I'm assuming just switched them over. We really did birth the worst religion into this world. So this land reflipped over to me, and it's making me think that maybe we need to have a word with the Ming. The Chinese court in India has decided that the old world and our emperor has been a bit of a naughty boy. You see, we are a self-proclaimed emperor in India, and we are Chinese, and we still love the homeland, but realistically our legitimacy is pretty waning when an emperor still sits on the throne, which obviously leaves us with two dilemmas of will we conquer China or will we just destroy it to legitimize our own claims in India? Well, I guess we're going to have to find out. The banners have been called, and for the first time in over 500 years, the exiled Shangs shall return to China. In the name of Shang, we shall pillage. It's time for the child emperor in Regency of China to realize that the true emperor has come home. He simply went to the gas station for 500 years and forgot to check back in. Well, with the sacking of Beijing, the peace has been settled. The Ming will accept that we are the true emperor in China. Look at that. Shang came from nothing, and now he is the emperor of China. Well, his bloodline is currently Gui Kong II of Han that is currently ruling the dynasty, but you know what I mean. Well, I think we well and truly blew up China. That's right, we're creating new China over here in the West. Well, you may have noticed that there is a big power in India other than me, which is the Daliwais. The Daliwai. Delhi. It's Delhi, okay? And we need to take them down at some point, but they have quite a few allies, which, well, hopefully we can deal with. Oh, for us to keep a solid claim on the emperorship of China, we will have to hold a few select cities. We'll need Canton, Nanjing, and Beijing. Otherwise, just like the child emperor before us, we'll start to be laughed at quite heavily. Welcome home. Although, can you really say that if your only claim for it to be home was you had one ancestor over 500 years ago that used to live here that was actually kicked out of there for looking too ugly? Probably not, but it's a real ugly duckling story. There's been a lot of cursed stuff in this playthrough so far, but Prussia, not steady Prussia, forming and then going east. Orthodox Prussia. Doesn't stop there. Orthodox Polish Prussia. Gonna be a very interesting Vic 2 game, that is for damn sure. Also, I've never heard of Pruthenian before, but I like it. We captured the last city we need, which is Beijing, which means our rule as the Emperor of China for now is definitely cemented. One thing I want to do though before we convert to Vic 2 is actually finish my conquest of India, which there's not a lot left now. It's just going to take a bit of patience. Just continuing my conquest of India, which has led me at war with the Persian Empire, not to be mistaken for Persia, which is inside the Persian Empire but not a part of the Persian Empire. Persia is independent from Persia. Is that confusing for you? I haven't checked too much into the Americas. I know it's kind of a bit chaotic over here with the latest DLC, because the natives just seem a bit too powerful, and yeah, it's not a lot of colonizing's gone on, except in Brazil, which has also broken free. Oh, so is Argentina too. Argentina's broken free. The natives are still running wild over here, and probably will be until the end of the game. Still can't see North America, but that looks like Andalusia to me. I don't know though. We'll find out at some point. It'll be one hell of a surprise, I imagine. Oh, also, yeah, okay, so, well, that is horrifying. First, France, you are too powerful. Aragon's still alright, and Leon is taking over Portugal. Andalusia's still here, but, what I noticed is that Castile's been kicked out from over here. They used to be over there, but, not anymore. And, Estonia, eh? Oh, Byzantines, you really did make it quite far, but, yeah, you're dead. This is so cursor. Like, Greece has spawned in Constantinople, but also Austria is just chilling down here in the Balkans too. Italy took all of Greece, and now they're getting revolt. It's like, what is going on? Also, I just want to point out that there is two nations in Croatia right now. There is Lesser Croatia, the big large one here, and then there's Greater Croatia, the smaller one. I didn't think there'd be much in the way of Russia, but Ryazan's actually getting quite big down here now. And I think they just won a war with Prussia too and took a few provinces, so that is kind of something. I'll shout out to France for finding out I exist and then telling me no map can be a work of art as long as your nation is on it. Well, if we're talking about works of art, France ain't one of them. No, as if France can't get any more monstrous than it already is, and now taking out the Italians. Oh, the Enlightenment actually spawned in me. That is the first one that I've actually gotten. Just look at my little empire now. It's very enlightening. Still there. I thought Austria would be kind of impressive, but I didn't think they'd be this impressive. Oh, there goes Ryazan and Estonia to the Austrian horde. I do not like the balance of power in Europe. Why is France so big and Austria just getting bigger? I was excited at the fact that Ryazan, you know, we might actually get a Russia, but they they just got, I think they just lost a war to Transoxania. They just spat everything out. Oh my god. I didn't even realize they must have had a PU over Britain. I don't know what to do with this. I haven't looked at the New World in a while either. I'm dying of my eyes. Oh yeah, I just realized Malta has a colony over here too. Okay, the Knights went west. Oh, I guess I don't have to worry about this. I'm nowhere near Europe, but I'm just gonna look away. I can't look at it. I gotta say though, the Shang has gone ahead and pretty much unified India and more at this point. We still have a lot of China too, and I think I am gonna keep playing. Originally I was gonna end around like 1750, but I guess we're just gonna play it to the end just to see how crazy it can go. Which means I am planning on taking more of China, but not for me, for my puppet, the King Hai. And unfortunately, our dynasties are no longer linked as they have gone to the zoo. But you know, I feel like it's kind of still important that we cement the power in China. Oh yeah, I just remembered I can hit this button and put a relative on the throne. There you go. We're back in control. So I think what I want to do in Victoria 2 is have this China released. So, you know, bit of RP. There we go. By the power of Shang. Kind of sad that all the Byzantines have left now is Cyprus and just random province up here. I have never been sadder than the moment that the great Estonian Empire finally collapsed. Look, Prussia's back and getting bigger, and Muscovy's been spat out. This whole area just basically might as well have not changed. I am happy to report, though, that Persia has finally been absorbed into Persia. Alright, there's something I should probably tell you. It's been 40 years, and for that whole time, I may or may not have been feeding Muscovy a lot of money, and also allying them and helping them out in every single war. And let's just say I may have created a Russia out of pretty much nothing. I didn't want to really get this involved, but I'm in too deep to say no now. Yeah, Russia, help keep those winters, a little bit warmer. And by burn the money, I mean just maybe put it in a cannon and shoot it in the general direction of an Austrian man. Yeah, I don't think any amount of money is going to stop you against the Austrians, though. I'm going to be real with you, Russia, and it takes forever for me to get my armies over there, and I've already lost like 2 just because I get a little bit outstacked. Finally got my troops over here, and Russia peaced out. That was great. Now you get to walk all the way home. Russia broke their alliance with me, and then immediately got invaded by the Austrians. I have done so damn much for you. God, did Austria just splurt 1,500 countries out of Russia? Yes, they definitely did. Oh, 1812, I think this was the perfect time to put this to rest. The mighty Shang Empire has definitely laid complete control over the subcontinent over here and past it. We also have all of China under our hold in our puppet, the King Hai, which I think might get a bit turbulent in Victoria too, as we've definitely left them with quite a bit of power. We still hold our mandate though, and only just in 1812, I am not kidding you, we have been converting the entire goddamn time, have I finally managed to convert all of India, almost. There's like a couple provinces still alive. The great Shang religion has control all over India and China now. We are definitely spreading our wings. Of course, now that we do move into games like Victoria 2 and Hoi 4, though, that is completely, it means nothing, because religion, it has no effect in those games. But I wanted to leave it off with a bang. Since it's the last time we're really going to see it much, there it is. Shanganism has actually taken hold, and we have conquered pretty much all of Asia with it. As for the religion in the rest of the world, Islam for a long time did not do too well, but recently Yemen actually came out of nowhere and finally kicked the Egyptians out, who are the Crusader state there, and it's kind of coming back. Africa, with the converter, it actually gets rid of most of the African nations, so for the most part we don't really need to worry. Castile did get the Cape, which is where they are. I was wondering for a while where they had ran to, because they still own New Castile and don't own anything oh wait, no, they are back in the mainland somehow. The New World is you're gonna need a little bit of fixing. South America, I mean, the Incans are pretty cool. You see the Incans have actually taken over a lot of South America down here, and Brazil is also too big. Asia, for the most part, I realized. France has all of this. They got away pretty scot-free, because I'm assuming Britain might have colonized a whole bunch of this too, and then they obviously ate them up, so that was just... I still don't know how I'm going to deal with this. I'm obviously going to clean the map up like I always do, just for a little bit, by taking away small nations that, if you always ask, why do I clean up the map and don't leave, like, this small nation over here, the Barasuki? That's because the AI will never kill them. That nation will just sit there for the rest of the game. It won't grow, it won't ever move, it'll just sit there, because the AI does not know how to deal with it in Victoria 2 or Hoi 4. And, considering there are so many small nations, it does end up lagging the game when you get to Hoi 4, because it's just a pointless, useless tag. So we do usually clean the map up a little bit. Obviously, it usually goes to whoever is the biggest in the region, so I wouldn't get rid of Transoxania exactly, but I would give, like, this small nation to Russia. It's nothing crazy. It makes the game better. You see bigger wars, blah, blah, blah. Same goes with North America. I'm obviously not going to touch cool stuff like this. You have the Comanche Federation. That's gonna stay stay there, because that's actually pretty cool. But things like the Navajo, unfortunately, might go. British Louisiana. I don't know what I'm going to do with British Louisiana. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. As for Europe, I'm glad I'm not there. But yes, the mighty Shang Empire shall be moving to Victoria 2, where strife, revolution, and economics are about to hit us pretty hard. If you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe button down below to continue the journey, and I am very interested to see how this comes out.